In Pakistan, the concept of scrapping cars doesn't exist. This fuel tanker truck, which has just gone through a major fire, is completely beyond repair and can only be sold as scrap metal. But to a mechanic in Pakistan, it only needs a simple repair to restore it to nearly new condition. Since this tanker truck has been severely damaged by fire, to completely repair it, the mechanic will use a gas cutter to disassemble the fuel tank. However, there might still be some fuel residue inside, so the workers are very careful when cutting to avoid accidents. Suddenly, a large burst of flames erupts from the truck, which scares the workers. Luckily, a colleague quickly comes to help extinguish the fire. Once the fire is out, the workers are still cautious and bring over a fire extinguisher to ensure the fire is completely extinguished. With the fire extinguisher on hand, the workers can now proceed with the disassembly work in peace. But another accident happens, and this time the fire nearly burns the working mechanic. Thankfully, the overall disassembly is completed without further incident. After the crane lifts the fuel tank off, the truck can be moved to the repair station. Although the truck is reduced to just a metal frame, as long as the screws are intact, the repair is not difficult. Next, the workers will collaborate to remove various parts from the chassis and move the cab to the side for repairs. Since the chassis beam has been deformed due to the fire, the workers will try every method to disassemble it. However, this process is quite challenging. Even without professional electric tools, the large hammer comes in handy here. It works perfectly, requiring just a few strong strikes on the crossbeam, and soon the truck axle is removed and the entire beam is completely disassembled. To restore the beam to its original shape, the workers carefully and patiently use a hydraulic press to straighten it. However, since the beam's strength is significantly reduced after being burned, the workers will also bend a new steel plate into the shape of the beam using the hydraulic press, then fit the two together. This ensures that the beam's overall load-bearing capacity remains intact. Next, the workers use welding to patiently and carefully fix the beam in place. Once the beam repair is finished, the workers will prepare to assemble the chassis. Meanwhile, the repair of the cab is progressing smoothly on the other side. The workers disassemble parts such as the doors and carefully repair them to ensure the sheet metal structure is intact. Afterward, they need to carefully polish the cab before spraying on primer, which helps restore the original appearance as much as possible. The already burned out interior of the cab is directly coated with rust-proof paint. Once the primer coat is fully applied to the cab, the chassis beam assembly is also completed and coated with rust-proof paint. The workers then use the crane to reinstall the cab onto the chassis. Afterward, they continue to install components like the truck axle and engine onto the chassis. Though this process takes a lot of time for the repairman, it is a simple task. Soon, within less than a week, the entire truck chassis is assembled. Next, the workers apply the final coat of paint to the cab and proceed to install the truck's interior and glass components. At this point, the high-cost performance new truck is fully restored. It is now ready to be sold to the next customer. So after seeing the whole process, what do you think of the quality of this repaired truck? Follow my channel for more exciting content in the next episode.